Hello everybody, Spirited Senior here, bringing you some more news, because there's a lot of it going on today. Let's get going, eh? Trump administration raids military construction projects for border wall. The move is likely to further inflame Democrats who have accused the administration of illegally overriding Congress spending decisions. I don't think he did anything illegal. He did everything by the book. Trump administration is carrying out plans to raid $3.6 billion in military construction projects to build the border wall, furthering inflaming lawmakers who have accused President Trump of illegally overriding Congress spending decision. Well, no, he hasn't actually. Because if he was doing that, they'd really be jumping down his throat. Defense Secretary Mark Esper informed congressional leaders on Tuesday of the cash grab from a total of 127 military projects. Roughly half the money will come from funds previously dedicated to upgrading military bases abroad, and the other half in the United States. Well, I could see the United States, but military bases abroad, it's time to come home, people. Come home. We don't need military bases abroad protecting everybody else's ass but ours. Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer said Esper told them some of the money will come from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in his home state of New York. It's a slap in the face to the members of the armed forces who, serve our country, that President Trump is willing to cannibalize already allocated military funds to boost his own ego. For a wall he promised Mexico would pay for, Schumer said. And guess what? Mexico is going to pay for it, one way or another. Trump declared a national emergency in February in order to divert $8 billion from a variety of federal accounts to build a physical barrier along the U.S.-Mexico border, including a Treasury Department fund and Defense Department efforts to interdict illegal drugs. Well, Tuesday announcement comes on top of $2.5 billion the Pentagon already diverted from its budget towards the border barrier this spring over objections from leaders of the House and Senate Armed Services and Appropriations Committee. Well, that's too bad, guys. Sometimes you have to learn to lose, don't you? In a letter to Senate Armed Services Chairman Jim Inhofe, funny names these people have, on Tuesday, Esper detailed 11 border projects on the U.S.-Mexico border that the diverted funds would now finance. Great, and I'll bet you some of those farmers are probably happy too. The barriers, Esper contended, will allow military personnel to have been deployed to the border to beef up security, to focus on areas that don't have physical barriers. In short, these barriers will allow DoD to provide support to DHS more efficiently and effectively, Esper wrote. In this respect, the contemplated construction projects are forced multipliers. Well, it's for our country. So yeah, I don't understand why it's bad. It's to protect our country. Well, I mean U.S. But I consider Canada is almost part of the U.S. now anyway, so. And whatever happens in the U.S. usually affects us. So, in total, the military construction budget will fund 175 miles of border wall, a combination of new barricades and improvements to existing structures. The earliest construction could begin in about 100 days. Elaine McCusker, the Pentagon's acting comptroller told reporters. She added that the first projects are likely to begin on land owned by the military, including the Barry M. Goldwater Air Force Range along the border in Arizona. Good! I'm surprised they don't have a barrier there already. That shocks me, The roster, excuse me, of 127 projects the Pentagon is targeting to pay for the border wall has been windowed down from a much longer list of $12.9 billion worth of projects in the dozen states, as well as several locations overseas. The Pentagon is expected to release a list of all impacted projects on Wednesday after it notifies lawmakers whose districts will be affected, as well as officials in foreign countries where projects are being deferred, according to Jonathan Hoffman, the Pentagon's chief spokesperson. However, the military construction projects being rated do not include family housing, military barricades, and projects that have already been awarded or are expected to be awarded in fiscal 2019, Hoffman said. He also added that the $1.8 billion from domestic projects will become available only when the $1.8 billion from international projects have been used up. Defense officials say they also hope Congress will appropriate more money to backfill the military construction projects that get cut. The way we're describing it is deferred. They're definitely not canceled, McCusker said, of the military construction projects being rated. Well, the overseas one, come on, let's bring our people home, okay? Nevertheless, other Democrats in Congress also swiftly rebuked the decision. Rep. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the crook and liar, deceiver, and I can tell, there's a couple other names I could give her that you guys probably don't even know about, who oversees military construction funding in the House, warned that the Trump administration is about to weaken our national security by stealing billions from our military, including training for soldiers and schools for military families. Yeah, why didn't you say that to Obama when he totally depleted the military? You think we forget what he did? I don't think so. Don't worry about it. Trump is rebuilding the military, okay? He's not taking funds from any of that. I reminded his administration today that I will not support this theft from our military, Schultz wrote on Twitter. Trump can pander to his nativist base, but the House will fight his every attempt to make our military families or national security suffer as a result. Just to explain to you that they're not going to suffer anything. A group of Democrat senators sent a letter to Esper on Tuesday demanding more details. We are opposed to this decision and the damage it will cause to our military and the relationship between Congress and the Department of Defense, the senators wrote. We also expect a full justification on how the decision to cancel was made for each project selected and why a border wall is more important to our national security and the well-being of our service members and their families than these projects. We're not worried about our service members or the family. We're worried about the people of America, okay? We're worried about everything. We need a border wall down there. They'll quit coming up here, too. In response to the news, Rep. Don Bayer also taunted Trump in a tweet, writing 8 times that Trump promised Mexico would pay for his campaign pledge to build the border wall. Well, have heart, people. Trust me, Mexico's going to pay in the end. The move is also expected to draw ire of Republicans, at least privately. Lawmakers in both parties have constantly warned the Pentagon against raiding the defense budget for a border wall, a move they fear will hurt military readiness. They weren't worried in the Obama era, were they? Not one bit when he cut off all the military. Not one tiny bit. That makes me laugh, really. The Trump administration previously angered congressional Democrats by deploying thousands of troops to help secure the southern border. Just pissed them right off. Good. Keep pissing them off. It's possible some of these troops on the border could return home once the wall is erected, Army Lieutenant General Andrew Pappas, the Director of Operations in the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told reporters. Geez, you think they'd have shorter names, you know? Having more effective barricades should reduce the need for military personnel to patrol those portions of the border, Hoffman added. True, but Congress isn't the only interested party expected to put up a fight over Trump's latest move. The American Civil Liberties Union, which should go stuff themselves somewhere, party expected to put up a fight over Trump's latest move. The American Civil Liberties Union said after the announcement that it plans to file a motion to block the transfer of money. The UCLA is representing Sierra Club and border advocates in a related federal lawsuit in California. Yeah, poor Trump, he's getting sued all over the place. The fact that the government sat on these so-called emergency funds for 7 months further confirms that this is nothing but an unlawful power grab. We'll be back in court very soon to block Trump's latest effort to raid military funds for his wall. Staff attorney with the ACUL National Security Project said in a statement. Well, you know, these guys can go just stuff themselves. Why they inject themselves into this, I don't even know. It's none of their business. You know, take care of business in the U.S. What happens on the border belongs to Trump, not you guys. And the other one, the other idiot, Omar, who wants to bring in the UN. Hello? That would scare the shit out of me. You know who the UN is. They're not for the U.S. I'll tell you that much. They're all for a money grab. That's what they're for. They're pissed off at Trump because he's insisting everybody pay their fair share. And everybody's all upset. I don't get it. You know? I just don't get it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. And I'll talk to you later when I have some more news.